And here's the 2016 Syrah from Laterus. This Syrah is whole cluster. Whole cluster refers to the technique that some winemakers choose, where instead of separating the berries from the stems during fermentation, they keep some proportion, or in this case, all of the stems that came in with the fruit as the fruit starts to ferment. This does a couple things. As you might imagine, this certainly changes the tannins, the drying nature of the wine. It does two things at once with the tannins. It both makes the tannins broader, kind of filling up your mouth more, but it also softens the tannins and makes them less edgy and angular and lean. The other thing is, there's a certain flavor profile and collection of flavors and aromas that are in the stems that are not in the fruit. And one of the other benefits you get from a whole cluster fermentation is a lot of times you get a much more kind of perfumey wine that's really jumping out of the glass more. And so that's one of the reasons it's often used in a varietal like Syrah, which a lot of times will have a lot of complexity and density on the palate and a very long finish and a really wonderful tannin structure, but sometimes could be assisted with just a little bit more power in the bouquet of the wine. And that's really present here.
I'm getting lots of black fruit. Grilled meat, which I love in my Syrah. Dried herbs. Some nice acid. Some robust tannins. Some good structure, for sure.
And it really makes this wine, I like to think of a whole cluster wine as almost like a real cozy comforter or something, where it just is more enveloping your palate, but super soft at the same time. Not heavy, but still powerful and filling.
Yeah, the winemaker is a Washington native, and like many winemakers I've known, they began their wine journey working in the restaurant industry. And he quickly realized that he wanted to become a winemaker. So his most recent gig before, creating Laterus was working as the assistant winemaker to the prestigious John Bigelow at J.M. Cellars, whose wine we had in one of our other allocations, but just a rising star. He and many other winemakers share a space in Maltby, Washington, just outside of Woodinville. And he's an incredible person, and I just love his wines. So I'm really happy that we're able to grab some.
And I'll say the skill of the winemaker really shows in this wine. Whole cluster winemaking is, to some degrees, like walking a tightrope. If it's done to too much of a degree, it can really overwhelm the wine. You'll get something with a wine with some really just wild herbal characteristics, or the wine just will become too soft and too just kind of this big blob in your mouth. It takes a really skilled winemaker to know how long to keep those stems on the fermentation, what proportion of stems to use so that the wine is amplified by those stems, but not overwhelmed by them.
And if you care about awards and scores, this one happened to be a double gold winner at the Seattle Wine Awards. So it is highly recognized among many people I know that are judging on there. So I trust these people. So cheers to that.
Cheers.